most people would say that the Panama Canal was wrought with problems. I would say no, it wasn't. Actually, it was great. They found copper in there. They found all kinds of minerals in there. Like I said, about midway through one of the mountains, they found this rock. It was as hard as any rock they had ever seen before. Even hardened drill bits would go, would just dull. They couldn't dig through it at all. Nothing. They shot it with cannons, and it still was pretty damn hard or hard to break. I was like, let's crush it up and melt it and see what it is. And they found a form of silica or a form of mineral. I think they found titanium or something like that. They found something that was rare and really unique. I mean, they found gold. There's a gold mine there or somewhere around in there. I don't really know. They found all kinds of minerals in there. When they were digging into one of the mountains, they found this thing and they were like, it's iron, or they found a copper thing, a copper deposit near there or something like that. They could make copper there. And they found, like I said, they found this rock that was ancient rock or something like that. And it was really hard. Like apparently my people said you can barely even blast it. They said we've tried blasting it and it won't do nothing. I mean, even when you put the thing, it just little thing comes off. They said, we don't know what it is, but it's really, really hard. And I was like, crush it up. Let's melt it and see what it is. Anyway, they started messing around with it, and they found this, I guess maybe even titanium or something. They found something really rare that is like really valuable or something like that. And we started making, anyway, they could mix it with other things. I don't know what it is, but they were digging through one of the mountains and they found this. It was funny. They dropped bombs on it. They did all kinds of stuff, but they found this rock that was like, you could just and they showed there's pictures of the drill bits. Just even hardened drill bits wouldn't touch it. It was something ridiculously hard, and I was like, sounds cool. Crush it up, let's melt it. And like I say, other people would be like, oh man, we're never gonna get this. It's like, so what? It's an adventure. It's like we found something unique. I was excited when I heard about it. I was like, rock that explosives won't touch. Sounds rare. Crush it up, melt it, let's see what we got. And like I said, every now and then they would take rock samples and they would take it and they would melt it down and see and try and distill it. I mean, Panama Canal, that was like one of my biggest stories. Like the metallurgy that came from there. I think they might have even found titanium. They found something that was like, woo, this is cool. Anyway, they found this really rare rock, and I mean, anytime you find a mountain, it's like, what's in it? Anyway, I think they found titanium or something. They found something that was really, 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 they were like, this is really valuable stuff. And I was like, cool, awesome, I want it. Anyway, so, I mean, I didn't care. I was like, it's all mine. Let's mine it and let's make steel out of it. So, I had metallurgists there. There's probably 150 metallurgists there. They would take little rock samples and they'd play around with the metallurgy and stuff like that. And we were building steam shovels and the cables and stuff like that. And I was paying a lot of money for this and paying all these people to do all this work, and it became like a little Panama was like my little America. Because they were digging in and they found all this stuff, and I was like, well, that's cool, that's awesome. 150 years, no problem. And I think they might have found titanium stuff. They found all this stuff. Turned out that Panama was fairly valuable, and then because there was all kinds of stuff there, and even if there wasn't, even if it was all just smoke, I was like, hey, cool. Anyway, but still, it's still a monumental thing, and I don't know, I mean, it was something to do, and it was interesting, and like the Republicans were like, oh, this problem and that problem. It's like the British worked on it, the Germans worked on it, I had Indians there, and it's like, it's a lifetime. I didn't really care that was taking like 150 years. Like the Republicans were like, hurry up and get it done, hurry up and get it. It's like, No, don't worry about it. You're going to work your whole life at this, and maybe you'll get it done, maybe you won't. Just begin and keep going. And like I said, there was that time when they finally found, and I had all these other sites all over the world that I was working to. Panama was just one of my big sites, and everybody else that went there would visit and be like, "Ooh, look at all the work." It's like, yeah, I know. Anyway, and they made their own train cars. Like train cars came from there. Steam engines came from there. They found metal in that there rock, and it turned out to be this great big source of money, and it turned out there was all kinds of stuff there. And I don't know. I mean, they built all the trains from there, and all the steam shuttles came from. I mean, miles of track came from Panama. So, because people were just like metal, and it proved that there is metal in the ground and stuff like that. I mean, I love Panama. I was proud. I was like, yes, pay money. Print, 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 print. I mean, Panama was like one of my biggest success stories, or one of my biggest things. I mean, so it cost a couple $1 billion. Who cares? I was like, I don't care about the cost. I mean, when I was like, the cost is irrelevant. It doesn't matter the cost. It doesn't matter if it takes 150 years or even 150 lifetimes. It will get done. Anyway, and then like I say, they were digging in there, and they had the different teams, and they were, money, food, wealthy men forever, and plus the opium trade and everything else, because New York, everyone wanted opium, wanted their drugs, so the opium trade paid for a lot too, and and everything else, and it became this huge thing that is very much part of me, Lucifer White Star line. The line that went around the planet. Actually I went metal. See, I told you. Metal and food and screens, and everyone said, "Oh, there's a plague. You can't go there. It's bad." I was like, well. And I hired somebody that knew about insects, I believe, from Britain or something. I was like, we need an insect specialist over there, because it's got to be a bite or whatever. So, money, people, ships, asking people, do you know about insects? Do you know about insects? Do you know about insects? And I had the problem at Auschwitz anyway. And, I have all these sites worldwide. And, that's how I became, and I was right. I was right. And massively right. I mean, it was my planet. I mean, my sun. So, of course. And I think I might have even put some metal down here. I don't really know. Anyway, though. Long story. But yeah. And then, JFK and Nixon were like, it's like, no. It is Lucifer White Star Line. Me. My planet. My sun. My Panama Canal. My money. My printed stuff. And my steam engines. And everyone was pretty much happy with it anyway, because they paid, there's lots of money and all that other stuff. So, and I trained troops to protect my ships there, because people kept shooting at my ships and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah. So, whatever.